Hello everyone, my name is Luisa Casas. I'm the CEO of Investar Construction Group. Welcome to my project. And he looked at me like, what? You do construction? I said, yeah. Again, I didn't know anything and I had to do a lot of things myself, meaning you go to Home Depot in your truck, you load the materials. I did that for a long time. I think that's one of the reasons I made it into the industry, because people respect me for that. Because I wasn't being lazy. I wasn't being like, oh, I'm a girl, I cannot do this, so can you please help me? They saw that, I would do whatever it takes to get there.
An inspiring story of a Colombian woman who believed that nothing, not fear, not obstacles, not even a male-dominated field could stop her.
When you want something so bad, just go for it. A lot of people are gonna tell you, oh, you cannot do it, or you're a woman, these men are so, this is machista world. But I love the challenge.
She never allowed intimidation to define her, choosing instead to lead with strength and character.
I'm always being like straightforward. Like, if you don't like me, I don't care. If I'm a woman, oh, well, too bad. If you don't want a woman to give you orders, well, that's what it is. I have been in construction 20 plus years, but I started doing residential long time ago. The reason that I started doing residential is because I was a real estate agent. And during that time, I was buying and flipping homes. And when you buy and flip homes, you get into construction. I was doing it for myself. And I saw the business because friends were asking me, hey, do you know a plumber? Hey, do you know an electrician? I was like, And I was giving away my contacts. So instead of giving away, I was like, you know what? I can make some money out of that. So I started saying, you know what? I do it for you. Kitchen, very small stuff. And then one day, a good friend of mine who is in the restaurant business, we were having lunch and he mentioned that he was gonna do a remodeling in a restaurant. And I was like, why don't you let me, do it for you? And he looked at me like, what? You do construction? I said, yeah. Since when? I'm like, well, I'm doing residential, but I can, it's not a big deal. It's not much different, right? And he like, okay, I'll send you the drawings. So he sent me the drawings and I was like, oh, shoot, what is this? I never seen drawings in my life. I'm not an architect. I don't know how to read those. So what should I do? But I want the business so bad because I wanted to jump into commercial. So I started University of Life, YouTube.com. So I went to YouTube and how you read drawings. I bought the the architectural ruler so you can check the dimensions under the drawings. And I was like, okay, this is not as easy as I think. So I call another friend. I say, hey, do you know any general contractor do commercial? And he like, yes. I say, can you send me one of the informations? I have a project for them. So what I did, and I probably should have not done it, but you have to find ways. I called them. I say, hey, I have a restaurant that I want to remodel. So they thought it was my restaurant. Can you come and give me a price? So long story short, they all came in their big trucks, nice Rolex, and they gave me this price for the renovation. And I was like, okay, drywall, frame. So I start with my ruler, figuring it out how many square feet they have for how much they were charging me. So I start cutting things in half. So I sent it to my friend. I said, that's the price. And he like, are you sure you know how you do this? And I said, yeah, I know how to do it. And my framer, my residential framer at the time, he knew how to read drawings and he done construction for years. And he like, Luisa, don't worry. That's easy, I'll back you up. I help you. It wasn't a big renovation. For me, at that time, it was big because I never done commercial. But for him, it was a small project. Don't worry, I help you. I said, okay. So I gave it to my friend and he like, Luisa, I'm gonna give it to you. But I'm fighting with my family because they're like, why are you gonna give it to Luisa? She doesn't do commercial. And they're now a big group, very big group. Anyway, he gave it to me and that's how it started. And it was amazing. It was a learning experience because, again, I didn't know anything and I had to do a lot of things myself. Meaning, you go to Home Depot, in your truck, you load the materials. I did that for a long time. So that's how it started commercial. And if everything went well, and because they're a good group, they start referring me to other restaurants. And that's how my commercial career started.
Luisa shared the challenges she faced as a woman in her industry, from building and leading teams of male workers to earning their respect.
Yeah, it's a challenge at the beginning, but it was a good challenge because I wasn't afraid of it. I think, when you want something so bad, just go for it. That a lot of people are gonna tell you, oh, you cannot do it, or you're a woman. These men are so, this machista world. But I love the challenge, and honestly, I love going to Home Depot, and I love carrying the materials. And it's funny because I'm petite, and I remember people, all these workers at Home Depot. Yeah, I was carrying the things, and they were like, but that made me earn respect toward my workers, because when they see you like doing all this stuff and wearing the hat, this is my company and I'm gonna succeed and I'm gonna make it work, and they see that you're not like sitting around and having somebody doing it for you. That's why I think that's one of the reasons I made it into the industry, because people respect me for that, because I wasn't being lazy. I wasn't being like, oh, I'm a girl, I cannot do this, so can you please help me? They saw that I would do whatever it takes to get there. My crew now is the same crew that I have 20 years ago, and they stick with me because they saw that, and they saw me growing, and I saw them growing too. It was a challenge, yes, but it's really up to you. I'm always being like straightforward. Like, if you don't like me, I don't care. If I'm a woman, oh, well, too bad. If you don't want a woman to give you orders, well, that's what it is. And you have to treat them with respect also, because unfortunately in our countries we have this superiority, because they're in construction and they're there and you're the boss, and you cannot kind of mingle with them. Here is different. Here we all here for the same reason. That's what makes them appreciate me more, because I saw them as part of the family. They're my family. My workers are my family. They're not.
A woman who turned challenges into strength. This is how she dealt with the inspection department.
I find the challenges a little bit with government, like with when you have to deal with inspections, and you have to deal with all this bureaucracy within the cities or the counties, because when you do a project, you have to pull permits. You have to go to the city, apply for a permit, and then you have to have inspections. Inspectors come to the job site in different stages, and they have to check your work. When you deal with them, all of the inspectors are men. Most of the inspectors are like 40s plus, and they're very, very southern, right? So I remember I had a few stories when I was waiting for the inspector, and a guy show up, and I'm here, and he like just, walked by me, didn't say hi, and then he like, hey, where's the contractor? I'm like, that's me. And he looked at me like you, a woman, and then I speak. I have a very thick accent, a Latina, and he like, so, but then you have to be smart enough and confident enough to turn that around. But then like, hey, I'm Luisa, nice to meet you, I'm the contractor. Believe it or not, I'm here, I build this. And then you start like earning your confidence and showing them that you know what you're doing. So at the end, they all became my friend. They all like, you just have to, you cannot let that shadow you down. That makes sense?
This is the message she shares with people who feel stuck in life and are trying to build something for themselves.
So just keep knocking doors. Do not give up. You're always going to have people to tell you that you cannot do it. But it's because they couldn't do it. It's because they gave up. You can always fulfill your dreams. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's easy to just say, you know what, it didn't work. I'm going to find something else to do. That's easy. It's like in sports, you are an athlete. You can easily say, I'm not going to train today because I'm tired. Well, shoot, guess what? If you don't train, you cannot make it into the competition. So you have to push yourself. And you have to love what you do, because when you love what you do, you just, it's always that strength within you. Like, you know what? This one didn't work, but the next one's going to work. And I'm going to make it happen. And, this is what I like. And you wake up every day like, I'm going to go to the job site. Like, surround yourself with the right people. Because if you surround yourself with the people that's telling you, you're not going to do it, it's not easy, just, it's too hard, this is a world of men, eventually you're going to be like, you know what, yeah, I'm just going to do something else. Just surround yourself with the people that are going to lift you up.
Luisa also values the mentors and the people who open the doors for her. That's why she believes surrounding yourself with the right people can change everything.
But they also, people here, they see that you're coming from another country and they admire that about you, because they don't for us, it's like, oh yeah, I moved to the US and it's kind of part of life. But for some people here, that's not easy. Like they say, I cannot imagine me moving to another country and learning another language and starting a new life away from my family. They see that as like, just that part for them is like, wow, you people are strong. So we need to take that good part and embrace it. Because not for everyone, you're like, oh, you're the Latino that came here and all these things that they said. It's only a very small percentage of that. There are other people that really like lift you up.
And this is how Luisa, after years of hard work, sees herself in the years ahead and the meaning she has found in life.
And on the beach having margaritas. That's the truth. That's the truth. You know what, Laurita? I have been working since I was 17. And I'm not gonna lie, and I'm gonna say, oh, I see Investor like the billboards and like this gigantic company. No, I could go there, yes. If I wanna go there, sure, I can take my company there. Do I want to go there? I don't think so. Because I realize that, yeah, money is important, but my time, my family time, my daughter, my friends are more important than that. And the more you grow, the less time you have, unfortunately, especially when you're a business owner. So no, I wanna grow my company a little bit more. I wanna jump into probably shopping centers, like small shopping centers. I wanna continue doing restaurants, but I'll give myself 5 more years. And then if I can sell the company, great. If I can, if I make money selling the company, great. If I'm not, I'm just gonna enjoy what I have done and enjoy my, my good years that I have ahead and enjoy my daughter.
Final.